Hello. Okay. Bachi Chronicles. Video 437. I'm just not joking. I don't know. It's a lot though. I've taken a lot of videos for the last month, and I'm sure nobody's going to watch any of these. But like I said, when I get older, I'll have those memories to write a book off of or something. So I want to talk about the military again. Another topic. So when you join the military, you are with every race, religion, person, being on the planet. I mean, if you're a cook, if you're a mechanic, if you're a gunner, if you're a missile guy, you have a person from California, from New York, from New Mexico, from Chicago to Florida, and white, black, Native American, Hispanic, Italian, German. I mean, you just everybody's coming together. So you got a lot of dealing with a lot of different, unique people. If you're not a people person, you're going to have a hard time. If you're dirty or you just you don't care about any kind of cleanliness, you're going to have a hard time. They're going to scrub you down. If you're a pain in the butt or loud or something, you're going to get shut up. I mean, it's just, you can't take on the 20, 30 people in your division. It's not going to happen. You wind up having a horrible 2 or 3 years on the ship or wherever you're stationed, or you wind up in the brig or in jail or something because you can't handle it. And so just to let you know, when I checked into the division, I think I checked in the first day. Met everybody. The second day I had duty, which was like a Saturday. I checked on a Friday. I had duty on a Saturday, and then Sunday I was off. So duty just means you have to stay around the ship in case something happens. They need a certain skeleton crew to, when you're in port. Not out to sea, of course. Everybody works every day, kind of thing. But when you're in port, if it's China, Korea, or your home port, Japan, or wherever, they break the duty sections into 5. So they'll take a division of 25 people, 5 different groups, 5 people per group. 5, 10, 15, 20, 20, yeah, something like that. And they just rotate the days: Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, Saturday, Sunday, Monday. And so I came in on a Friday. I checked in. They needed people for that next duty section because they were running low. So, and plus I needed to learn everything. So on Saturday, and then Sunday I was off. So I was planning on going home. I think Sunday and Monday was a holiday, so Sunday, Monday off, something like that. And of course, I'd already been with the divisions, and I've already been with other places before I came to the ship to work. Like on the ship crew, I was with the airplane side. So I had I want to say Sega Saturn. Maybe it was a Sega Saturn or something. So I had that with me for duty. So if you're not on watch, or you're not in the armory, or you're not doing your like 5-6 hours of watch, depending on how many hours they break it down for how many people working for the section, then you're free to do what you want. You just can't leave the ship. You always have to be around the ship. So, bring your PlayStations. At that time, there wasn't PlayStation, maybe PlayStation 1. You just bring your games or your movies, and, it's only one TV. So you got to hope that everybody's out of the berthing and you have time. So I'm down there, and there was another guy in there. And he was watching TV, but just not really watching TV. Just kind of like dozing off or whatever. And so I asked him, I was like, hey, do you mind if I hook up my Sega? He was like, yeah, sure. What games you got? So we wound up playing for a little bit, and I had the last shift for the watch. So my shift was like 1 in the morning to 6, and then from there, the next duty section would take it over. So this was like 10, 11 o'clock, and we're playing, and it's almost time for my shift to come on. And there was another guy came walking in. So they start playing, and I was going to put everything up, but the guy I was playing with, he was like, oh, you going to put it up? And I don't want to be the asshole, the new guy, the asshole group. So I was trying to be nice, and I was like, oh, you guys can play it. I'll just get it after my watch. And he was like, oh yeah, I appreciate it. Now I don't really know these guys. I didn't even know names yet. So I go to the armory. I do my watch. I come back, and the next duty section, which was the guy I was playing with the night before, he was on that duty section. And he just stayed on the ship. And so I asked him, I would come in, and my Sega was gone. And, that was my baby. Nobody touched that was my baby. So I was like, hey, where's my Sega? And he was like, I don't know. I went to bed because I have first watch, but the other guy was playing. I don't want to say names. He's like, the other guy was playing it when I went to sleep. So I was like, oh, well, I need to go. It's almost time for me. I want to get back to the house because I was going to meet my girlfriend. We were going to do something on that day. But I'm not leaving my Sega. I'm not going to leave the ship without my Sega because that's what I'm going to play at home for 2 days. So, he's like, I don't know. So I was like, where is he at? And I looked at his bunk. The guy wasn't in the bunk. So his locker's right there. And he has one of those locks. It's like a padlock, but it's got push buttons. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. And at the bottom, you have a little thumb lock to click it. So when I was in boot camp, a lot of people use those locks. And we were like a secret cleaning crew for the boot camp. And when everybody went to eat, we would stay there and clean the whole berthing for the boot camp. So when the inspectors would come, we wouldn't get hit with these because they like to hide stuff. And they had those locks. And we learned that if you wiggle the bottom of it, it shows you the numbers. And you could unlock the locks and clean the lockers and put stuff in, like if people leave shirts out and stuff like that. So, you wiggle that lock and the numbers move. So, 1, 6, and 5 will move. Those are the numbers. So you just do it and unlock it. Or the generic locks. I probably just told everybody how to break into those locks in the world. But I'm always sure only 20 people are going to watch this. So anyway, he had one of those locks. So I was like, well, maybe it's in his locker. Maybe, so I wiggled the bottom and the numbers moved. I unlocked it, opened it up, and there's my Sega. It's my Sega and all the games. So I grabbed them, put them out, locked his locker back, went and put them. And I was writing him a note, and I was going to put it on his rack and say, hey, got my Sega. I took it out of your locker. Thank you. I was going to say, you left your lock unlocked or whatever. I didn't want him to think, I broke it. But I wasn't going to have my Sega disappear, and I don't know this guy. So to me, it was more important. So I'm writing it, and I hear the guy come in. And the guy that was playing it with me the night before, he's like, hey, McCurdy's looking for you. Bachi wants his game back. And so I walk around the corner and I got the letter. I stopped writing it. And I was like, oh, hey. And I was getting ready to tell him, hey, I got it. And he was like, yeah, I don't have it. I went to bed. I don't know where it is. And I was like, what? I was like, but you were playing it last. He was like, no, it wasn't me. I went to bed. I haven't seen it. I don't know where it is. So I was like, but they said they put it in somebody saw you put it in your locker. He's like, is it not my locker? What, you want to check my locker? And you want to see, you want to check my locker? So I was like, well, look, they said they saw you put it in your locker. So let's okay, let's check your locker. If it's not in there, then I'm sorry. And he was okay. And then he goes over to like his locker to open. And then he was like, you know what, this is bullshit. You're going to accuse me of stealing your thing. I don't know what it is. You're the new guy. You're the boot camp. And he just starts yelling. He just totally gets defensive. So, it's like, well, I'm just asking where it is. Everybody said you were the last person with it. They said that, they saw you put it in your locker. If they didn't see it, then, who told you that? I want to talk to him. So he's all getting all angry. And I said, wait, you know what? Hold on a second. Okay, it's done. Don't even worry about it. And he looks at me like, what? I said, it's okay. Don't even worry about it. I'm good. And he's like, what do you mean? And he was just confused. I walked to my rack, grabbed my bag, which had my Sega in it and everything, and I already had it all backpack already in there. So I grabbed it and I left. I went home, did my 2 days. I never found out what happened with him after that because I know he opened his locker and found out his Sega wasn't in there, or my Sega wasn't in there. So he had to think something. Like, how the hell did that happen? How did he mentally get it? But we're out to sea. I have my Sega. I'm playing it. He asked me. He was like, how'd you get your Sega? I was like, oh, it was just in my locker, in my rack. It was somebody put it there. So my bad. I didn't mean to accuse you. And this guy was a complete dirtbag. He got busted for stealing some other stuff, and I think he got in a lot of trouble. I think he got kicked out because it turns out he was just stealing from people money and stuff. So those are some of the types of people that you'll be dealing with. I mean, not everybody's joining the military for the same reasons you are. Maybe you're joining it for the college, the college GI Bill, whatever it's called, where you get free college, 75%. I don't even know the deal anymore. Maybe that's the reason you're joining. Maybe the other people are joining because that was the choice the judge gave them, military or jail. Which I don't even think they do that anymore, but I don't know. Maybe. Or maybe some people are in trouble and they needed to escape. They want to get out. I joined the military just to get out of Missouri and travel the world and come to Japan. I mean, that's the only reason I joined. I didn't care what I did or what was going to happen. I just knew what I wanted, and that was out of Missouri. Missouri's not a bad place. I wanted to travel. It just wasn't enough for me. It's just how I felt. So nothing bad about Missouri or anything like that. It wasn't where I wanted to live. Some people join, they're in trouble, they're in financial trouble, they're trying to escape, they don't know what to do, they're homeless. I mean, you never know the reasons why people are joining, but those are the people that are right next to you. And some of them you create a great friendship with, and some of them you don't. I mean, there's people from the Navy days, I talked to Bernie. Bernie was great. I mean, we still talk once in a while. Sanders and Hodges and these guys, I remember there were so many people in the division, it's hard. And there was people that, you don't get along with. And like we used to train and we used to fight and practice. The martial arts group kids would hang together, and we had this one guy in the division. He's just a huge guy, and at the end we didn't get along very well. We were fine in the beginning, but at the end I don't think we really liked each other. I don't remember what happened, but I remember we were out doing our practice duty watches and just out on the sponsor playing, doing stuff, and we're sparring kind of thing because we just got to kill time. And he comes around and he's just like, that kung fu karate kid stuff doesn't work on, people. And so we're like, yeah, you want some of this, just playing around. And I think it was Bernie. He tried to do something like kick him or something. He just grabbed him and threw him over like this big stack of whatever, weapons equipment or whatever. So I run up and I'm trying to, and he just grabbed me and picked me up, slammed me down on it, and he's holding me down and just like slapping my stomach, just bam, bam. There's nothing I could do to this guy. He's just so much power and muscle. And I had a lot of respect for him because he was, even though we didn't get along, he was always like who he was. He never pretended to be anybody other than who he was. He was straight. He is him or the way he is or nothing. If you don't like him, you don't like him. If he don't like you, he wasn't afraid. So I couldn't be that way. It wasn't my nature, but I had a lot of respect for him. He was a very powerful and very strong-minded guy. I mean, I'm sure he's doing good now. So I guess that's it. Just wanted to let you know those are the people you will be dealing with, and be ready. So try to make friends, but be careful. All right, thanks for watching. Catch you later.